welcome back to my channel. I am Diz, this is Domino, and today we're gonna be doing a better ending for Game of Thrones. So since there was so much outrage about the ending that they gave us, I decided to take 13 champions and put them on the throne. Some of the ideas may be just a little absurd, some of them just a little ridiculous, so go ahead and leave me a comment and I want to know who you wanted on the throne. So go ahead and comment down below of who and possibly how they got to the throne. In no particular order, let's get started. Number 1, Stannis Baratheon. Now, for Stannis to sit on the throne, he would have had to take King's Landing instead of losing majority of his ships to the wildfire. Let's say he did that. I still don't see Stannis holding the throne for very long when Dany shows up with her dragons. So, in any case, he would have sat on it for a minute. Number 2, Sansa Stark. So for Sansa, the fastest way for her to sit next to the throne would be to marry Joffrey, but that wouldn't put her on the throne. So for her to sit on the throne, Dany would have had to take the throne first. And after Dany takes the throne, Sansa invades King's Landing with her northern army. That would get Sansa on the throne. Number 3, Margaery Tyrell. Now for Margaery to take the throne, we're gonna need a little bit of shenanigans from Grandma. So Grandma does what she should have done in the show and poisons Cersei too instead of just poisoning Joffrey. Realizing that that evil didn't just come from some nasty incest, that is Lannister, except for Tyrion. Leaving Margaery to rule with Tommen. Now I think that those two would have made a really good match in ruling the kingdom in a very peaceful way. That doesn't quite get her to the throne. So, for her to get to the throne, Tommen's going to have to die. And let's just say those White Walkers go ahead and kill Tommen because him being relatively one of the noblest Lannisters is trying to defend his people by their side, while his beautiful queen is tucked away in safety. That group of survivors, as well as the several other clusters, would survive that long winter. And when the summer came, how well is the White Walker really going to survive in that kind of heat? All they really have to do is survive the winter. Number 4, Eddard Stark? Number 4, Eddard Stark. So since none of you are actually here to stop me, I'm just gonna ruin the whole show for you and say it would have been really easy for Ned to take the throne in the very beginning, instead of letting Robert take it. Things would have been way different if they just had one witness in the room with them while Robert was giving his last will and testament to Ned. Having that one witness could have kiboshed Cersei even though she ripped it up. You know what else could have kiboshed Cersei? If the guards stuck to more values than they did the money. Cersei paid all those guards to listen to her instead of Ned. So let's say that happened. Then Ned could rule with Joffrey, teaching him to be a better king. And then anyone. Yeah, really, anyone would kill Joffrey, because that kid's not gonna live for long. He's a And then Ned could have successfully taught Tommen to be a good king. And then we would have ended up with like a Stark Lannister hybrid as king, which, with honestly the virtues that a king would need, wouldn't be a bad idea. Number 5, Gendry Baratheon. Now this one would take Ned's help too. Ned would have to prove that he really is Robert's son. Once he did that, depending on how long that took him, it would have been relatively simple to bind everybody together, having one united front. What number is she? Number 6. Cersei Lannister. Hey, I know we hate Cersei, but you can't eat her. She's a Funko. You don't eat Funkos. Now, I almost left Cersei off the list because she has actually sat on the throne, but seeing as how she was one of the big contenders for the last season, if it was going to get to have the throne, I decided to leave her in. It would have been relatively easy for Cersei to keep the throne. I mean, let's say that her big arrow dragon killing machines actually worked. That Dany was able to get brought down by one of those. And why not use that wildfire again? I mean, if you just if you just lit the wildfire so it was around all of King's Landing, then Jon and whatever army doesn't, and then whatever army attacked, it wouldn't even matter because they would have to get through the wildfire first. Yeah. Didn't realize it would be that simple. Number 7. Petyr Baelish. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I added him to the list because of how badly he wanted the throne. Not that I actually thought that he could have ever gotten it. But if he did marry Sansa, things would have worked out way different for him. Especially if he was a part of uniting the whole front. There's a lot going on outside. Like dogs barking and my dog's going. Anyhow. Especially if he was a part of uniting a healthy northern front. I nailed that! You just blocked me. Your dog blocked me. God. Especially if he was part of uniting a whole healthy northern front. Oh, Daisy talking. Daisy talking. Number 8. Robb Stark. It's rather simple to get Robb on the throne if you just erase all of his stupid fox and decisions. So let's do that. Number 1, don't marry Lady Thornpaints. Number 2, I don't remember number 2. Oh. Don't kill Ricard Karstark. Number 3, don't send untrustworthy Theon anywhere near his bleeping father. Now that we got all of that cleaned up, he can be able to keep the loyalty of his men and rule more like his father would have, so he'd stick to the bond of his word instead of thinking with his eggplant emoji. If you know what I mean. Let's say that he actually gets to unite with Renly. Unite in marriage! He's marrying Renly. Although Renly would really appreciate that, I'm sure. Let's say he gets to join forces with Renly Baratheon. Having that kind of an army come at King's Landing, why wouldn't the Vale join in too? I mean, Littlefinger wants to be on the winning side. If you know what I mean. I don't know what I mean either. What are you talking about? That would have been really easy for them to take King's Landing and Casterly Rock. Hell, they'd be able to... Hell, can I say hell? With that kind of force, headed to King's Landing, bing, bang, boom, Robb becomes the king of the north, Renly becomes the king of the south? The Six Kingdoms. Then Jon's gonna have to come ask his brother cousin for help, and Renly, and Dany. But we're just gonna fox all the rules here. When he gets to go as... When he goes to ask Dany for help, the dragon, yeah, because that green dragon is gonna look in his eyes and imprint on him. And then bam, we get him on the dragon, and then we have Dany on the dragon, then we get to see some big bam, boom, bam, boom, bang, big dragon fight action going on. I mean, claws, scratching, blood, guts, and that's how Dany dies. Yeah. And now we get the 3 dragons headed up north, ruled by Jon instead of by Dany. So we're not going to lose a blue dragon. Oh, so we're not going to lose a blue dragon because rules. Good guys win. Not very many Starks die. Yeah, I like that ending. Number 9, Renly Baratheon. Let's say that Renly pees on his brother's shadow puppet and that dissipates. And then he's able to unite with Robb. Yeah, sounds good. Number 10, Jon Snow. So, in this ending, we're going to have Jon kill Dany. And instead of the way that Jon killed Dany in the show, which was really emotional and moving, but I want to see some blood, guts, and gore. I want to see some dragon fight in action. I want to see, you know what I want to see? I want to see Jon grab one of those arrow things that were used for killing the dragons that Cersei had when Dany's just annihilating King's Landing. I want to see Jon take one of those and shoot that beepity beep dragon down. And as the dragon's falling, we see Grey Worm running to her aid. And as Jon is going to kill her, he kills Grey Worm, which gets him out of the way, and then stabs Dany through the heart. And then for the end, all we need to see is just Jon walk up, sit on the throne, done. I don't need any after story. I don't need to see a bunch of people talking about a bunch of nonsense and refer to their titles way too much. Completely unnecessary. There's dog hair on my face. Number 11. Daenerys Targaryen. Now, for Dany to be able to take the throne, we're going to have to stick to a storyline where Dany doesn't go crazy. So let's do that. Now, I think that some of the reason why Dany went crazy so quickly is because she saw so many of her friends die. So let's go ahead and erase those death scenes like Mormont and Miss Sunday and... yeah, probably can't really erase Khal Drogo because that one kind of sets her whole storyline up. So let's just erase those two. As Dany is flying over King's Landing on the back of her beautiful dragon, she takes a second and looks and sees Cersei staring out of the balcony there, watching everything burn. And instead of continuing to burn everything, just poof, burns her. Dead Cersei. Dany takes the throne. Would have been really easy. Super quick. Number 12, Tyrion Lannister. Now, for Tyrion to take the throne, Dany would first have to take the throne, and then go crazy for Tyrion to feel justified in killing her. Now, how I see Tyrion killing Dany would have to be in her sleep, and he could just stab her in the back while she's laying in bed. And then resume the role until they found another king. And then they could call him Mini Queenslayer. And finally, we get to number 13. The Night King. So, for the Night King's plan to really work out, he's going to have to come at a better time. I mean, everybody keeps talking about how this is going to be the longest winter ever. Why didn't he just wait for the winter to set in harsher, where the snow is piling up so high that people are being forced to stay in their homes and can't easily travel through it? That way, his army is not only the undead, but also the winter itself. So let's say he does that, and he comes all the way down and just terrorizes the north, terrorizes King's Landing, kills everybody. Now everybody's a part of this dead army. What would be the point of that? I mean, we haven't seen these White Walkers eat anything, so they don't need to eat, they don't have that kind of drive. Obviously, the undead can't feel anything because they keep getting their limbs chopped off, stabbed, poked, whatever, and they don't feel it, so that makes naughty time not as naughty. Well, I was watching the show, I was kind of rooting that the Night King would win because that would put it in a twist, but now, thinking about it, glad he didn't. What kind of spin-off are you going to have there? A bunch of Walking Dead walkers staring off into space? Now, because you didn't ask for it, I have a bonus ending. The Game of Thrones ends because the giant dies. Because the truth is, they all live in the eye of the blue-eyed giant. Now that you guys have heard all my rubbish endings, I want to hear yours. I just called your ending rubbish. Sorry, not sorry. While you guys are typing away in the comments section, here are a few things for you to think about. What if Ned told Lady Stark Jon's true heritage? What if the disembodied parts actually meant something? What if Dany's baby survived? What if Sansa left with a hound? What if Arya went with the faceless man the first time he asked? What if Bronn never made it to the tree? What if Cersei's firstborn, a true Baratheon, survived? What if Robb went north instead of going to the Red Wedding? What if Jon left the Wall and didn't make friends with the wildlings? What if Arya held to her course and killed Cersei? What if the blue-eyed dragon never died? And what if Dany killed Tyrion instead of making him an advisor? What if you like this episode? Hit the like button. What if you want to see more content? Go ahead and hit subscribe. What if you want to see more of me and her? Follow us on Instagram at This Is Having a Bad Day. Thank you for watching. days, folks.